No,
You know, it can't run on gas. All right, we don't got time to fuel up. We need this to be solar powered at all times, running on runes, so that they don't need huge cooldowns for every single play that they make.
I'll translate that for you in chat. That is a mid hero that likes to take fights, not farm the jungle, look towards his opponent's side of the map, not towards his own.
Lina, perhaps, would be wouldn't be bad. It's nice as well to have a ranged hero to utilize Slardar's minus armor. It's not the greatest if you have a void, because it's harder for him to stick to the target. You can't swap as effectively. Something like Alina, you have no problems. Like Slardar went for this guy, mid-fight he switches to this guy, you just start pummeling damage into him instead.
Oh, just like a casual Pangolier or something. Just like a super fight-heavy...
For Liquid?
Yeah, then you don't die to the Tusk rotations. Obviously, into Grimstroke,
I can't, yeah, into Grimstroke, and also, I just don't see how they're going to do it.
Void Spirit themselves.
Yeah. I think Lina, Viper make the most sense. It's nice to have a bit of burst damage.
Oh, yeah, they're just going, wait, is...
Quap is a possibility.
Storm's in the pool.
Storm is still
cool. Not bad either.
That is just the big 1-2 punch. They ban out Viper, yeah, so...
Yeah, they banned out the other spirits?
Changing up, yeah, I think, you know, Storm's up there.
I know Blitz pretty well, and if he's thinking Storm, he's looking at the enemy team fight and their ability to potentially go high ground early on, and I would be afraid of Nigma threatening that.
How about a Storm on the other side, though?
We'll see if Liquid picks.
Yeah. To quote Fear, every time I would be in this position thinking about what we would last pick, he would say, Kyle, why don't we just wait to see what they take?
Yeah, no, I like that. Yeah, can't be wrong if you don't predict.
Which was kind of annoying, because I like to talk, and
you do.
I just have to sit on my hands for 2 minutes.
Oh, please, sit on your hands, Kyle. Let's get that action underway.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Quap, possibility for Koifa. I don't think they'd go like a Huskar route, but it's I guess, possibility. I think it's more likely he just plays something standard.
Do we have to think about things, damage going through in the Chronosphere? Obviously, Invoker is banned, the most obvious one, but Fatal Bonds with Mortimer's Kisses is enough?
It is a lot of damage. It's just big cooldowns for the damage. And okay, good for a tiny.
All right. I wish I was working yesterday. I would have said, when in doubt, and if you have Limp on your team, if that box is checked, pick Limp Tiny. Well, I mean, Liquid try the same strat here.
Void, Tiny, and Snap were on the winning team on the side of Alliance in Game 2 yesterday. Only differences are the Timber and the Rubik replaced by the Warlock and the Slardar.
The good thing about this Tiny pick is, if you emulate the style of gameplay that Toxin does, for example, where you're just playing into your enemy jungle, non-stop tossing people, you're disrupting Nigma's ability to just group up cleanly as 5, it buys time for a Void, a Warlock to get entry into the game. So yeah, I like the idea if it is a core Tiny. Yeah. If they flex Snapfire to core,
yeah, they can swap it, right?
They can.
Open.
Okay.
I had a feeling they might go for Pugna. My concern is that against a Tiny, you can get pretty... you just get ran at, and now there's a target on Miracle's back for this entire game. Their save is somewhat limited, and their damage output is basically all ILTW. So I don't mind Liquid's draft into this. Their team fight's quite solid. You got to figure they'll be comfortable, and it's going to be much easier for them to find kills because Nigma don't really have anything to play with mind control.
Don't mind this Pugna pick too much, just because the build would change up a little bit where you just go for like a Glimmer Cape. You naturally go for Octarine Core quite quickly, so it's more HP. So you are quickly very tanky and can eat through that damage. It's also a hero that will happily just stand up front and be that annoying hero that they jump and then suddenly now the rest of the cards coming in. It is just... Nigma are playing for that timing. Like we describe these teams as full-on aggression and then stack camps, wait, play later. It's why Liquid wins games, 35, 40 minutes plus, and Nigma win games much earlier. So I think that the tale of two stories.
That'll be the story, I think, of this game, because if you chrono anybody but Pugna, they're going to get decrept. The Slardar amp, like all the damage disappears. If you hit this timing, you get... He's got BKB. He's huge because he can farm these stacks in jungle so much faster. I think you're going to win. But the Void gets to level 20 plus, suddenly things start to go Liquid's way.
Well, at least I think we can be sure that there will be quite some action in this game, and two people that are going to be very happy with that. And Fog.
Yes, we are, Fogged. I think this is going to be a fun one because every single time it's the old Liquid boys versus the new Liquid boys, and every single time they played up against each other, Fogged, in a best of 3, it has gone the full distance.
Yep, that's what we're hoping for. And I mean, we got some exciting stuff coming out here. We've got a Pugna for Miracle. I don't even know the last time I saw like Miracle playing Pugna. We got Koikfo with the Tiny, and Liquid, they've got a lot of comfort. They love playing with Slardar. They used to be a team that picked Void, even during some time when he was phasing out and all that. They let the Void AA combo, so they're comfortable with the hero. But I do have to feel a bit anxious for them. I see a very good group up lineup on the side of Enigma when they hit this timing. You know, Mech Darkseer, Pugna's going to be pressuring as well. I think Liquid might falter to that if they don't set up perfect team fights with that Void Chrono and that Warlock.
So the last time, I'm not sure if this is entirely accurate, but the last time that Miracle played Pugna was in 2019, February.
Okay.
See if I can find it. Matchup against Team Singularity. I don't even know what tournament this is. So yeah, it's definitely it's been a minute.
Yeah, some time for sure. And you know, there is some potential for him getting burst. You know, just like Panel was saying, Tiny, Snapfire. There is a good amount of actual damage that can just delete him. However, if he's in a good position, he's got a lot of different ways to protect himself too. They've got the Darkseer and the Tusk too, so a lot of different ways to guard Miracle.
What do you think about Liquid? I feel like this game represents a change of pace from them, considering what they were running at the Singapore Major, which was like 3 semi-cores, a very fast lineup that usually would get outscaled. Here, they've got Slardar, Void. Like, I feel like this is kind of somewhat epitome of late game. They're actually giving Mickey a hard carry to play off of rather than their usual shenanigans.
I absolutely agree. That's why I was saying, like, I feel like they're going back to their old forms of, like, all right, let's look for these big fights rather than this constant aggression and just having stable Mickey on, like, a jug or something like that. Seeing Mickey eats the whole tag team. It's a nice little time off to start off. So I haven't been seeing too much of these double melee with the Darkseers. It's not been, like, doing badly. Just it takes time to be able to build up that pressure. So glad to see teams are still willing to go for it.
I'll see how they do and how much pressure they are able to put onto a Faceless Void with a Warlock behind. I feel like that's one of those combos that, like, used to be Warlock Spectre. You know, that was a combo that's just like, okay, we will endure. But I have to imagine Faceless Void is going to be even harder to pressure.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the bans because right, they picked Warlock and then Enigma picked Darkseer right after. So maybe they were going for like, okay, if you go for the Spectre, you know, we're gonna be able to have our own Spectre later on too and stuff like that. And Darkseer versus Spectre might not be that bad, but they actually go for Void instead. So some switch up perhaps.
I can tell you that Spectre was not banned.
Okay.
So it was still out there, but Enigma did opt to take the Monster Faster rune. I'm super interested to see this Luna at work and whether or not we're going to see the shard pickup. Do you think that's legit?
I think with Grimstroke it is.
Okay.
You can get the double bounces in bottom. Speaking of the Luna.
Getting very low. ILTW. Be okay though.
Nope. We have to mention the power of this lane, right? Snapfire, I know we've all been talking about how it's kind of been moving to that 5 position exclusively, but damn, with Slardar, this actually sounds like a pretty hot lane. Level 3 comes around, 100 bonus damage, -8 armor. They're going to pack a punch onto this Luna, even if she is one of the higher armor heroes in the game early on.
Yeah, it'd be a lot easier if she was a higher ranged hero, right?